She made me drive her to her ex's house to get closure, then came back 4 hours later with messy hair. She said closure takes time. You wouldn't understand. I understood enough to close our joint bank account the next morning. Hey viewers, real quick, only 8% of you watching are subscribed, and the channel's kind of stuck right now. If you enjoy these stories, hitting that subscribe button would really help us keep going. Thanks. I'm 26, Chris, typing this while my now ex-girlfriend Sophia packs her stuff and calls me every name in the book. This happened 5 days ago, and I'm still amazed at how quickly someone can go from loving girlfriend to complete stranger. Saturday afternoon, Sophia asked me to drive her across town to her friend Maria's apartment. Said Maria was going through a rough breakup and needed support. She'd be a few hours helping her friend process everything. I didn't think twice about it. Sophia had always been good about helping friends through tough times, and I respected that about her. Plus, I had some errands to run on that side of town anyway. The address she gave me was in a nice neighborhood I wasn't familiar with. When we pulled up to a 2-story house with a well-maintained front yard, I was surprised. This is Maria's place? Pretty nice for someone our age. Sophia grabbed her purse quickly. Yeah, she house sits for her aunt sometimes. Thanks for the ride, babe. I'll text you when I'm ready to be picked up. She kissed my cheek and headed toward the front door. I waited until someone answered and let her inside before driving off to handle my errands. 4 hours later, Sophia texted me to come get her. When I pulled up to the same house, she came out looking different. Her hair was messy, her lipstick was gone, and her clothes looked wrinkled like she'd been lying down. She got in the car acting weird. Fidgety, not making eye contact, checking her phone constantly. How's Maria doing? I asked as we drove home. Oh, still processing. Breakups are hard. What did you guys do for 4 hours? Just talked. Listened to her vent. She had a lot to work through. These things take time. Something about the way she said that last part bothered me, like she was talking about her own experience, not Maria's. When we got home, Sophia went straight to shower. Said she felt emotionally drained from dealing with all that relationship drama and needed to wash the day off. Sunday morning, I woke up with a nagging feeling about yesterday. The house we'd gone to, Sophia's appearance when she came out, her weird behavior afterward. I'd actually driven past that neighborhood a few months ago with Sophia when she was pointing out places she used to live. Something about that street seemed familiar, but I couldn't place it. I decided to drive back to that address. Maybe seeing it in daylight would help me figure out why it felt familiar. The house looked exactly the same in daylight. Nice neighborhood, well-kept property. I sat in my car for a few minutes trying to remember where I'd seen this street before. Then it hit me. 3 months ago, Sophia and I had driven through this neighborhood when she was showing me around her old stomping grounds. She'd pointed to a house and mentioned that her ex-boyfriend David used to live somewhere around here. My stomach dropped. I pulled out my phone and checked the address against what Sophia had given me yesterday. Same street, same block. The front door opened and a guy came out to get his mail. Tall, athletic, probably around 30. He looked exactly like the photos I'd seen of David on Sophia's old social media posts before she deleted them. I sat there for another minute, then got out of my car. I had to know. Excuse me, I called out as he walked back toward his house. He turned around. Yeah? Is this 1247 Oak Street? Yeah, that's my address. You looking for someone? Actually, I think I need to ask you something. Are you David? David Martinez? His expression changed immediately. He looked uncomfortable, maybe even a little guilty. Yeah, I'm David. Who's asking? I'm Chris, Sophia's boyfriend. The color drained from his face. Look, man, we need to talk, he said, glancing around nervously. We stood there on his front lawn while I tried to keep my anger in check. I told him Sophia had asked me to drop her off here yesterday, claiming she was helping her friend Maria with relationship problems. David looked like he wanted to disappear. He kept running his hands through his hair and avoiding eye contact. Chris, I don't know what to say. This is messed up. What's messed up? Tell me what happened yesterday. Look, I don't want to cause more problems. David, I drove my girlfriend to your house yesterday thinking she was helping someone named Maria. There is no Maria, is there? No, there's no Maria. So what was Sophia doing here for 4 hours? David looked even more uncomfortable. She texted me Friday night, said she needed to see me one last time to get closure on our relationship. And you said yes? I told her no at first, but she kept saying it would help her move on completely, that she was confused about some things and needed to talk them through. For 4 hours? We talked for maybe an hour. Then, he trailed off. Then what, David? Then things got physical. I felt like I'd been punched in the stomach. Physical how? Chris, I'm really sorry. We ended up sleeping together. The anger hit me like a wave. You slept with my girlfriend? I thought you guys were having problems. She made it sound like you were practically broken up. We live together. We share a bank account. What part of that sounds broken up to you? She said you were just roommates at this point, and she was trying to figure out what to do. So you decided to help her figure it out by sleeping with her? Chris, I know how this looks. It looks like you knowingly slept with someone else's girlfriend after she lied to him to get there. I didn't know she lied to you. But you knew she had a boyfriend. David had no answer for that. He just stood there looking guilty while I tried not to lose it completely. Did she say anything about me during all this? She said she wasn't sure if what you guys had was real or if she was just settling. So she was using you to test our relationship? I guess so. And you were okay with being her test? Chris, I wasn't thinking clearly. Seeing her again brought up old feelings. So you decided to act on them while she was dating someone else. I know it was wrong. David, are you getting back together with her? No. After yesterday, I realized we broke up for good reasons. This was a mistake. So Sophia had cheated on me to test our relationship, decided David wasn't better than me, and came home expecting me to be none the wiser. I drove home furious. Sophia was making breakfast when I walked in, acting like nothing had happened. Morning, babe, how'd you sleep? I slept fine. How was Maria last night? She's doing better, still sad, but she'll get through it. She was still lying. Even after cheating on me, she was continuing with the Maria story. Sophia, I went back to that address this morning. Her face went white. The coffee mug slipped from her hands and shattered on the kitchen floor. Chris, I can explain. Explain what? That you lied to me so I drive you to David's house? That you spent 4 hours cheating on me while I ran errands? It wasn't cheating. We were just talking. David told me you slept together. He's lying. Sophia, stop. Just stop lying. She sat down hard and started crying. Chris, please. It didn't mean anything. You planned this. You lied about Maria, used me as your driver, and spent 4 hours with your ex. I needed closure. Closure takes time. You wouldn't understand. You needed to cheat on me to get closure? I was confused about my feelings. Then you should have talked to me, not used me to drive you to another man's house. Chris, I love you. Yesterday proved that. Yesterday proved that you're capable of elaborate deception and cheating. I started packing her stuff immediately. She followed me around crying and begging, but I was done. Chris, don't do this. It was one mistake. Sophia, you planned multiple lies, cheated for 4 hours, then came home and lied some more. That's not one mistake. I was confused. Then you should have been confused somewhere else. She left that night to stay with her friend Kelly. Monday morning, I went to our bank. We'd opened a joint account 6 months ago when she moved in. I'd contributed about $6,000 over time. She'd put in maybe $2,500. Current balance was $8,200. I told the bank representative I needed to close the account due to a relationship ending. They said I could close it since I was an account holder, but I'd need to provide proper notice to the other account holder. I withdrew my $6,000 contribution and left $2,200 for Sophia. Then I opened a new account in just my name. I called Sophia and told her to come get her money from the closed account. She freaked out, saying I couldn't just close our account. I told her I'd left her contribution plus a little extra, and she needed to pick it up by Friday, or the bank would mail her a check. Tuesday, I went to our landlord. The lease was in both names, but I'd been paying full rent for 3 months since Sophia reduced her work hours. The landlord said I could remove her from the lease if she signed a release form, but it would take about 2 weeks to process. When Sophia came to get her money Wednesday, I had the lease release paperwork ready. Chris, I thought you wanted to work things out. I want you off my lease. What about us? There is no us. You ended that when you decided to cheat. Chris, I made one mistake. You made multiple calculated decisions. You planned the lie, executed it, cheated, then came home and continued lying. She signed the paperwork while cursing me out, took her money, and left. Thursday, I changed the locks. Update 1, 10 days later. The fallout has been messy but predictable. Thanks for the comments. Good to know I'm not crazy for expecting basic honesty from a girlfriend. Sophia had been staying with Kelly, who apparently got tired of hearing the sob story after about a week. Last Tuesday, Kelly called me. Chris, I need to ask you something. Sophia's been staying here telling me you broke up over a misunderstanding about her helping a friend. Kelly, what exactly did she tell you? That she went to help her friend Maria with relationship problems and you got paranoid and accused her of cheating. Kelly, there is no friend named Maria. Sophia lied to me so I'd drive her to her ex-boyfriend's house. She spent 4 hours there cheating on me. Are you serious? Dead serious. She made up the entire Maria story to cover an affair. Chris, that's really messed up. Kelly, I'm not asking you to kick her out, but I wanted you to know what actually happened. Chris, I appreciate you telling me. I feel like I've been enabling her lies. Wednesday, Sophia's parents called. They'd apparently heard some version of events from Sophia. Her mom said she didn't understand what happened between us. I explained that Sophia had lied to me to cover up cheating with her ex-boyfriend. There was a long pause. Then her mom said she was disappointed and embarrassed by Sophia's behavior. Her dad got on the phone and said they'd raised her better than that, and they wouldn't be helping her financially while she sorted out the mess she'd created. Thursday, I got the call I was expecting, Sophia, crying. Chris, Kelly kicked me out. My parents won't help me. I have nowhere to go. That's not my problem anymore, Sophia. Chris, please, I know I messed up, but I can't be homeless. You should have thought about that before you decided to cheat. It was one mistake. Sophia, stop calling it one mistake. You made multiple deliberate choices to deceive and cheat. Where am I supposed to go? Maybe David's available. You seem to enjoy his company. Chris, don't be cruel. I'm not being cruel. I'm being realistic. You chose David over me for 4 hours. Deal with the consequences. She hung up crying. Friday, I found out through Kelly that Sophia had tried going back to David. He'd turned her away, saying what happened was a mistake, and he wasn't interested in rekindling anything. So Sophia ended up back at her parents' house with strict rules about finding a job and getting her life together. Final update, 3 weeks later. The story has a satisfying ending, though Sophia's still trying to rewrite history. 2 weeks ago, Kelly told me Sophia was telling people I'd been controlling and manipulative, and that going to David's was about escaping an unhealthy relationship, not cheating. Chris, she's making it sound like Saturday was some kind of rescue mission instead of an affair. Kelly, let her tell whatever story helps her sleep at night. The people who matter know the truth. Last week, I got a series of texts from unknown numbers, all from Sophia, trying different approaches. First, Chris, I've had time to think and I realize how wrong I was. Can we talk? Then, Chris, I miss us. I miss what we had. Please give me another chance. Finally, Chris, I know you're hurt, but don't you think 3 weeks is enough time to cool off? I didn't respond to any of them. Saturday, David called me. I was surprised to hear from him. Chris, I wanted to give you a heads up. Sophia's been driving by my house and leaving notes. What kind of notes? Asking to talk, saying she made a mistake, that sort of thing. What are you doing about it? I told her to stop or I'd call the police. I don't want any part of this drama. Good for you. Chris, for what it's worth, I think you handled this whole situation better than most people would have. Thanks. And David, next time someone asks you to help them cheat, maybe think twice. Trust me, lesson learned. Me? I'm doing great. The apartment feels peaceful without all of Sophia's drama. I've been focusing on work, reconnecting with friends, and enjoying my space. Started seeing someone new last week. Met a woman named Rachel at a bookstore. When I told her about the Sophia situation on our 3rd date, her reaction was perfect. Wait, she convinced you to drive her to cheat on you? That's not just dishonest. That's genuinely evil. No drama, no excuses, just clear understanding. that what Sophia did was wrong. The best part about this whole experience? I learned to trust my instincts. When something felt off about Saturday, I investigated instead of ignoring it. When I found out the truth, I acted immediately, instead of trying to fix someone who didn't want to be fixed. Sophia thought she could use me as her personal Uber service while she explored other options. She thought I'd be so oblivious that she could cheat for 4 hours and I'd never figure it out. Instead, I caught her in less than 24 hours and removed her from my life completely. She wanted closure with David. I gave her all the closure she needed when I closed our bank account and our relationship. 3 weeks later, she's living with her parents while I'm moving forward with someone who doesn't need to test other options to know she wants to be with me.